I'm using Excel this evening to create a small spreadsheet that will track some budget items that I have here at the house. I start off by creating the spreadsheet that has a row, number one, with the columns named the months of the year. So I skip column A because that's going to be where I've put my different types of items that I'm going to track. But in column B, I'm going to start in row 1 by putting January, and then in C1 I'll put February and come all the way across to December. Now past December in the column N, I want that to be the total. So I want to be able to get the total of all the gas charges, all the cable charges, and all the electricity charges. The way I'm going to do that is I'm going to start by selecting the cell in the total column for gas that's on the line with gas. I'm going to hit the function button here, and I'm going to double click on sum. Now when I do that, it tries to guess what I want the sum of, and that's incorrect. So what I actually want the sum of is I want the sum of on row 3 from B through M. So I'm going to start by clicking on row 3, B, and come across over here to row 3, M. Once I have done that, I'm going to hit done, and you'll see it creates the sum of 197 in column N, row 3. So now I need to do the same thing for cable and electricity, and I could do it exactly the same way. But what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to copy this. I'm going to select this cell and hit copy. I'm going to hit the Command and C key, but I could also go up and hit the Edit Copy from the menu bar. Next, I'm going to select the two cells right below that sum that I did, and I'm going to paste with an Edit Paste the formula in those columns and cells. So what you see is that if I click here on the cable line, which is row 4, in the total column, it has changed from the B3 to M3. It's now made this one B4 through M4. Likewise, if I go to the next row, it tells me it's B5 through M5, and you can see that up here in the formula bar of what it created. So now I have that formula created that way. I'm going to do the same thing for the totals of the month. So I want all the totals of all the monthly charges to show up here in this totals column. I'll click in the January totals, which is B7, hit the function button again, click sum, and you'll see this time it guessed correctly. It selected those cells, but let's say it didn't. What I would do is I'd click on the first cell and drag down to the last cell. So I really want the sum total of those 3 cells. I can come over here and hit done, and you see it puts that in that field right there. Next, I'm going to select that, and I need the same sum, the same total in the February, the March, the April column, all the way across. So I'm going to select the formula that I did for January. I'm going to come up to the Edit menu and hit Copy. I'm going to now click down here in the February column and drag all the way across. And I'm going to also include the totals column because I want it to do the total of the totals. So I'll select all of those just like that. I'll come up here to the Edit menu and I'll hit Paste. And you'll see that now it has done the totals all the way across. So in the January, there's only 45. There's only one entry there, and 45 is the correct total. Let's come over here and look at May, where I have 88 and 45, and the total is 133. I can then double check by coming over here to the total column, the column N, and see that I've got 197, 449, and 363, and the total of that is 1009. So that way I have created this spreadsheet that's going to do my totals all the way across to the right and all my totals all the way down to the bottom. Now if I need to add another row in here, like say for instance for grass cutting, maybe I have a grass cutting charge, all I have to do is select this row 6, this blank row I've got here, come up here to the Insert button, and it will drop in a new row for me. So let's call this grass cut right there, and I only have grass cutting charges beginning in April, and it's always $25. So I'm going to pay the grass cutter $25 in April, $25 in May, $25 in June, and $25 in July, and $25 in August, and $25 in September. So there's my totals there. So now I need to update these, which are only going from 3 to 5. I need to make those 3 to 6. So if I come back to this column here, and I say I want to make this, instead of B3 through B5, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to say I want this to be, and I'm going to drag this out by grabbing the corner down to 6. Hit enter, and that will have changed the formula here at the bottom to include that grass cut row. Now again, all I have to do is copy that and paste it. Select the cells I want to paste it to across and paste it. And that formula then is adjusted to include that additional row. The easiest way to do this is to put all of your columns that you're going to have, gas, cable, electricity, grass cutting, rent, whatever you got, first, and then create this total at the bottom once you're done. Now you'll notice that I don't have a total over here for the grass cutting charge. Well, all I have to do there is I got to select the formula above it, go to Edit Copy, select the cell below it, go to Edit Paste, and now I have that $150, which is the sum of all these 25s I put in right here, and it also updated the final total.